Hey, what's up YouTube? So quick tip on setting your posts and railing and getting everything to fit. Sometimes things aren't perfect, obviously lumber can be warped, your post can be warped. So versus going dead level, I always set my post level when I'm building it, but then I kind of fine tune while I'm adjusting everything, because like I said, your post can be slightly warped, even though I pick all my own lumber and get the best I can to within a reasonable degree. Using a ratchet strap to getting everything right on is or clamps, obviously, if they're long enough. But like right here, to get my joint up here to work out these posts, I had to suck the top back 3/8 of an inch. So you throw a ratchet strap on, cut your top and bottom rail to fit, and then screw them in so it's locked in and you can take that off. So that's effectively what I've done here to get this joint to work out. I needed to get move this post back, and so I put a ratchet strap on, got it so it's going to line or work out, and then cut my two rails shorter, and then I'll fasten these. But yeah, you can kind of see what's going on. I'm just getting everything starting to build the rail. These angles here can be a little tricky on your stair. Basically, the way I go about it is I set 4 inches off the height of my deck, and I start there and build that rail. And then the other main thing you want to set is the fact that your handrail's got to be 34 to 38. I set 36. You're pulling that off your nosing. So you want to make sure off your nosing you have a handrail in between 34 and 38 inches. And I could be a little higher, but I like to plane it out and get it close versus having this kit way up top. And again, when you're doing a deck railing, the method I'm using is going to be sloped to match this deck is sloped 1/4 inch per foot, so the railing will follow. Some people might like to do level, and as long as you stay between that 34 to 38 inch height for the top of your rail, you're good. Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Drew Meyer with Meyer Construction. Doing some post railing today on this deck. Stair railing can be unique and difficult for some people, so I'm going to give you a few tips on ways to go about it. Finding your stair angle. You just need a level, lay it on your stair nosings, and then scribe, even a 2x4. Then scribe that mark on your nosing or on your post, and then you can use an angle finder or a speed square. And as you can see, I've already figured it out. Obviously I did the other side, and my stair angle is 32 degrees, so you can put a little stair gauge on your speed square to kind of make it easier. So like when you mark your post, there we go. So like there's my cut for my post, and so that's kind of nice to do, just so you're right on every time. So once you find your angle, that'll be your cut. All your cuts will be the same. That'll be your plumb cut for the end of your rail, and that'll be your plumb or a seat cut or whatever you want to call it to terminate into your top post. Another consideration is by code, your handrail is supposed to be 34 to 38 from your nosing, and I shoot for 36 just because that gives you the leeway, so you know you'll be right on. Commercial I think is 42 for handrail. How I set my brackets here that I'm using, Osco Building Products, I pull up 4 inches for the bottom, which is kind of the same with your baluster spacing. You can have a 4-inch sphere pass through anywhere on the railing for, you know, children. That's also code. But I like to allow 4 inches. That way when you scoop snow, you can still get light snow under the railing. So once I figure out my distance in between my brackets, which is 23, or I'll hook off the bottom, it's 27 inches. So I'll come do the same here at 27 inches, and that'll set this bracket. And that way this looks uniform, because like in this scenario, if I were to, with my stair nosings, the way this worked out, it wouldn't plane out. I'd have to notch my tread, so you can kind of fudge, get things to jive out to still look okay. But like the main thing is to make sure that here and here, you know, those brackets are set to the same height. Another thing of something you'll deal with is where this terminates is going to be slightly higher, like 3/8 higher than where this rail comes in. What you can do is, you know, bevel that to match the same cut. The only thing is that's a place for water to sit. So I think even though it's just a slightly bit higher, it still looks better just to die into that post with your 32 degrees is the mark for my plumb cut. Other things when you're doing something like this in these tight quarters is you'll want to have a right angle extension for your impact and drill. And also if your posts aren't perfect, when you're putting your top and bottom rails and your T-rail in, this gives you an opportunity to plumb up and fine tune your post. And for that I use a ratchet strap. So I'm gonna get these built today and film some of it. So I'm assembling the T-rail and I'm using trim head screws. And what I need to do is drill a pilot hole from the bottom and come up, and I want to leave about 3/4 of an inch from the top. So I made a corresponding mark of where I need to get this bit in there, and then I'll pre-mark my drill bit, which is roughly right there. So once again, I'm pre-drilling, and you just got to make sure and layout comes through. I know that when I get to the bottom of this bit, I don't want to go any further because that is getting really close, so I stay shy of that shoulder. And when I set my 2 ends, I clamped it to make sure it was tight. So you want to be sure and check your work. Your measurement should be taken from your nosing, and I was shooting for 36. You got to make sure it's plumb, and I'm at 35 and 5/8, 35 and 3/4. And obviously from where you take your measurement on a rake, it's going to change, but you just want to make sure you're 34 to 38 within that tolerance to be up to code. Hey, what's up YouTube? So we're finishing up on this Cedar Deck build. Thanks for watching. Please go to Meyer Construction, hit like, hit subscribe.